Hey DBS family, good morning to you. Wake up, rise and shine with us. It's another day here, but still, we got to keep on pushing, almost making it to the end of the week. So again, this is your Thursday show right here on DBS This Morning. I'm your host, Chayla Mendez, and right now we're going to start things off, and I think you can guess it, with our morning news highlights.
Good morning. Time now for a summary of your top stories. Prime Minister Philip Pierre has warned that continued resistance to COVID-19 vaccines could plunge the country into disaster, especially with the Omicron variant now wreaking havoc around the world. He says the country can no longer exercise the luxury of time, procrastination, and indecision about taking the vaccines.
We cannot afford the luxury of lockdowns anymore. Our children have lost too much school. Our businesses are closing. We simply cannot afford another 2020 or 2021.
Recently, the government hinted at the possibility of a change of heart on mandatory vaccination if inoculation numbers did not increase. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, meanwhile, has placed the public on high alert while noting an increase in COVID-19 cases. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George has urged strict adherence to safety protocols and continues to echo the need for vaccination in light of the fifth wave of COVID-19 infections in St. Lucia.
Since the commencement of the fifth wave on December 16, 2021, 686 cases have been diagnosed with an average of 40 cases per day. Women account for 56% of the cases and 6 COVID-19 deaths have been recorded. Visitors account for 26% of the cases. The prevalence increase is noted both in the northern and southern regions of the island. We continue to note increases in most of the public health indicators over the last 7 days. The transmission rate, the test positivity rate, increased active cases as we manage the fifth wave in country. We have increased our surveillance for the Omicron variant, which is characterized with a high level of transmission, and we still have the Delta variant in circulation locally.
The CMO continues to hold vaccination up as the best weapon against COVID-19. Activities honoring St. Lucia's 2 Nobel laureates have officially been launched. This year's activities are being held under the theme Celebrating Excellence, Facing New Realities, Creating New Modalities, Nurturing Old Talents, and Discovering New Ones.
And one of the things I discovered as I've been documenting the pandemic is that many people have gone back to doing things that they did in their childhood or things that they did in their youth. And so our exhibition will focus on some of the hobbies that people had been engaged in when they were younger and which had more or less fallen by the way. We are going to show our young people some of the things they could do during the curfews, the lockdowns, during isolation.
Organizers are hoping that the festival will be well supported both in person and on the virtual platform. On Tuesday, the First District Court in Castries remanded 53-year-old Lenny Augustine into custody until February 8th. Augustine appeared for a bail hearing on a charge of murder arising from the death of his 70-year-old mother, Florence Augustine. Police charged Augustine with the woman's death when he appeared before the courts on Tuesday. A post-mortem examination determined that Florence Augustine died from strangulation. And those are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
Good morning once again, good people. So I just want to welcome you to DBS This Morning, and this is the point in the show where I throw out that reminder that yes, we're going to take a quick break. We're just beginning. Wake up everybody that you know, because they all should be watching, because DBS This Morning will be right back. Everybody, good morning. Welcome to our family here at DBS, and this is the moment where we share, keep things in the know, and of course wake you up with the good vibes on DBS This Morning. Now, many of you may be aware that Miss Tyler Theophane is our representative for Miss St. Lucia World, which was supposed to take place in 2021 back in December, but of course due to the times and the pandemic, things changed. The date has been pushed back to March of this year. So right now we want to share a little bit of her story. We're going to do that in 2 parts. So again, it just means you need to always be watching DBS This Morning. But let's start off with part 1, and it's called Beauty with a Purpose. And it's always great to see that these pageants are so much more than what meets the eye.
On my small island, St. Lucia, we're big on helping each other. The strong bonds of family, community, and country have been built over centuries by what is referred to in our Creole vernacular as Kudme, a tradition of self-help for the good of all. Birthed in the rural farming community of Kafeye in Choiseul, Kudme was the foundation of my family. I grew up in an extended family and spent most of my after-school and weekends with my grandparents and mother. There existed a passion to help and give of themselves, especially to the young and elderly persons in the community. That legacy was passed on from my grandmother to my mother, who passed it on to me and my siblings. I was raised by a single mother. I saw firsthand the challenges of a single mother. This journey of Miss World and My Beauty with a Purpose project is my way of shining a light on the plight of women, children, and persons with disabilities, and working with like-minded partners to bring some measure of relief and comfort to these vulnerable groups. My Beauty with a Purpose project focused on 3 key areas of intervention: nutrition, education, and housing. One of my signature projects is the building of a home for a single mother and her 2 sons, both of whom are challenged. Jessica Gaya is a 42-year-old single mother of 2 sons, aged 10 years and 21 years. Both boys suffer from developmental delays. They are not able to function like other children in their age group. Their social skills are limited. The last son is unable to communicate. They both attend a special education program in the community of Soufrière. Like so many single mothers in St. Lucia, Jessica is currently unemployed. Being recently evicted from her previous dwelling, Jessica spent many nights seeking refuge with family and friends. She has no one to care for her boys, so it's difficult to keep a steady job. As part of My Beauty with a Purpose project, a 3-bedroom dwelling house is currently being constructed on lands provided by the government of St. Lucia through Invest St. Lucia. Support was sought through national service providers and local construction and hardware companies who provided building materials worth almost 100,000 EC dollars.
When we were approached by Event St. Lucia, for us it was a no-brainer to help and assist a young lady from Soufrière who was in need for a home. Actually, we are intimately aware of the situation, and we felt there was no way we could not have partnered with Event St. Lucia. So we partnered, and we were able to provide the labor that was necessary to construct a wonderful home for the young lady, and also being part and parcel of assisting Miss Leofan in the beauty pageant, Miss World Beauty pageant. So in summary, it was a win-win for us in making sure that we got 2 dreams accomplished. One, give Miss Leofan what was needed to get her to that place where she could present the project that was needed as a base for what she was supposed to work on in her portfolio, and also augmenting ourselves, bringing ourselves into the place that we're supposed to be in, helping and assisting other agencies in accomplishing their goal, and likewise our goal in maintaining and developing social and economic development of our communities and individuals at large.
As a company that is very big on corporate social responsibility, we felt it necessary to partner. We have, as a matter of fact, done a couple of initiatives like this ourselves over the years. So our contribution was in, of course, a cash donation towards the material supply, as well as discounted supply on the other items that I believe were sponsored by other corporate partners.
When Event St. Lucia came knocking on our door to build a 3-bedroom house for the single mother in Peru, the single mother of 2 that is, we ran at the opportunity because we like to give back to the community. I mean, we feel that it's necessary to give back to the community since we're a local company, and we partnered with Event St. Lucia, like I said. We supplied them with the steel for the foundation and also donated the roof.
The Renault Group of Companies is an entity that cares. We love working with the communities. And hence the reason we've partnered with Event St. Lucia to work on this initiative of building a home for a single mother and her 2 boys.
Wake up everybody, good morning. Guess what, some people may say it's a little too early for this segment, but you know what I say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and we're getting a really great tip exclusive from our friends over at Valels, sharing again. You know, it's the start of the new year, so it's still about celebrating, and we gotta learn to do it safely anyways. So get your notepads out, screen record if you need to, but this is gonna be a really fun, festive, or even should I say, drink to help you open and unfold January the right way, thanks to our friends over at Valels.
Hi everybody, welcome to Valels Sports Bar in Ancillary. My name is Kelly Henry, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make some tasty drinks for the festive season. Come with me. Were you naughty or nice this year? Because today we are going to be making the Nautini, because obviously I was naughty. Come with me. So it's a blended drink. I'm going to be adding ice. Not too much ice. Then Drambuie. Drambuie smells good. It's like a spice liqueur. Then I'm going to be adding some coffee liqueur. While you're at it, be sure to check out our coffee shop. And then some creme de coco. Some of that. And some of one of our favorites. You can never go wrong with vodka. Then we blend. Now that this is blend, we're going to focus on our Nautini glass. And we're going to give it a little design with some chocolate. Nice. And then we just put that good stuff. That looks amazing. Topped off with some whipped cream. And there you have it, your very own Nautini, so you could be naughty too. While sipping on this drink, be sure to check on our coffee shop, which is right next to us. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Welcome to our Neuromovement Wellness Series. I am Daria. Neuromovement is an opportunity to discover the amazing powers of the brain for healing, pain relief, and rejuvenation. Some of the benefits of neuromovement are reduced tension, reduced pain, and overall well-being. Welcome to lesson number 4. In today's lesson, I will show you a practical tool that you can use if you're on your bed and you want to go into a lying position, or vice versa if you're lying and you want to come up into a seated position. So now, gently, right now, on the ground in a side-seated position. So we're leaning on our left hand, and Esther will now go slowly onto her left elbow. So you're still, again, on your side. From the left elbow slowly onto the left shoulder, and from there slowly and gently you roll onto your back. So just imagine, just visualize that you're on your bed and you're going from sitting into lying. And now if you're on the bed and you've just woken up and you want to go from lying into sitting, you gently roll to lie on your side. And then you'll slowly come up onto the left elbow. And from the left elbow, you gently push up onto the left and the right hand, and you come into side sitting. Now remember, this is just a tool and you will be on your bed. You can either roll through your left side or roll through your right side to do this movement. Just remember to go slow and gentle. So now for our lesson today, we will gently roll to lie on our backs. And now, go ahead and you bring the right arm across you. You'll use your left hand to hold the wrist of the right hand. Gently bend both knees and put the 2 feet standing. And in this position, right now we're only going to focus on the top half of the body, so the knees will remain stationary. You will be using the left hand to pull on the right hand. So the right hand will come across the body, and then you slowly come back to the starting or neutral point. And then you do the movement again. So you just gently tug in the right hand across the body. And again, as you're doing that movement, just notice whether you can feel maybe the shoulder, the ribs, the chest. Notice what is participating in this movement. Notice if the movement feels easy. So most times a movement can feel difficult if you are pushing too hard. Maybe if you've stopped or you're holding your breath. So just go ahead and allow yourself to breathe. So you inhale and you exhale. And now for our next movement, we'll combine the movement of the head. So now we gently roll the head to the left as we pull the right hand across. And again, it's a synchronized movement. And then you come back to your starting or neutral point. So you move at the same pace. And as you're moving the head, notice if more of you is participating in this movement of taking the right arm across the chest. And slowly and gently, you come back to the starting or neutral point. And we're going to now combine the movement of the knees. So you'll gently take the head, the arms, and the knees to the left. And just notice how this feels to you. Notice if you can feel the movement in the spine. And you slowly come back to your starting or neutral point. Remember to synchronize the movement of the head, the arm, and the knees. And for our next movement, we're going to add a little novelty. So we're going to take our knees to the opposite side. So as you roll your head and arms to the left, the knees gently roll to the right. And it does take a little bit of thinking. So always go ahead and just, internalize the movement before you do it. And slowly come back. And notice whether taking the knees in the opposite direction feels easier for you. And we'll do one more movement like this. Pace in the head, the arms, and the knees. So if one part stops moving, you need to stop the movement and come back to the starting or neutral point. And now gently lengthen the legs, place your arms beside you, and rest. And in this rest position, always check in with yourself. Now that we've done a lot of the movements on the left side of the body, just notice maybe the differences now within the right and the left side. And gently bend both knees again, put the 2 feet standing. This time we'll be taking the left hand across, and you use your right hand to hold the wrist of the left hand. And remember, in our first movement, we are only moving the arms. So you take the arm across the chest towards the right. And if at home you find maybe your head is going with the movement, always find a point of contact on the ceiling so that you can keep the head stationary. And again, compare the two sides. Notice which side may have easier movement or flow for you. And now for our next movement, we will combine the movements of the head. So everything will roll to the right. And as you're moving the head, notice if you feel like you can go further with the movement. So again, we're incorporating different parts of the body just as a way of showing that the more you allow the entire body to participate in the movement becomes easier. And now for our next movement, we'll incorporate the knees. So now the knees, the arms, and the head will roll to the right. And remember, it's a synchronized movement. So you want the knees, the arms, and the head to roll or move at the same pace. And just feel, notice whether the movement is easier on the left side or the right side. And now for our next movement, the knees will go in the opposite direction of the arms and the head. So when you tilt the knees, just notice the twisting in the spine. So you're creating freedom, you're creating flexibility in your movements. And we'll do one more movement like this. And just again, pay attention to the twisting in the ribs and in the spine. Just feel the ease of the movement. And now slowly and gently stop the movement, lengthen the legs, and rest. So after you've done this movement, check in with yourself, notice how you are feeling. And it's a movement that you can possibly do maybe just before bed if you want to sort of ease any tensions throughout the body. So thank you so much for taking part in lesson 4. Thank you for taking part in our Neuro Movement Wellness series.
Now, life is all about balance. So you see what we did there? We did bring you that segment from Valels, but of course, followed by that, we continued with neuro movement. So health, wellness, all of these things, even a little bit of pleasure, recreation, everything in moderation. So let's learn and at least maybe keep this for the theme for the rest of the week, although it's almost over. But balance, that's all life is about, and that's what we want to help as well do right here on this morning show, is ensure that you can find balance in your life whenever you need it. So you have support here, you have friends here, and of course you have family right here at DBS. So we want to thank you so much for waking up this early with us. Thank you for being part of our family, and remember, we'll be back tomorrow with so much more in store for you. So don't go anywhere. We're wishing you a blessed day, lots of positivity and good vibes only. I'll see you tomorrow.